Today, I'm saying something positive about all of my electronic music gear. Freebie. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Freebeat, where I post new music-related content every single day, so if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Let's get started. So, over the 2-year course of this channel's brief history, I've purchased quite a bit of electronic music gear. I didn't realize it was so much until I laid it all out on the table here, but the reason I've got everything out here goes back a couple weeks ago to a question I got. Someone asked me if I have any electronic music gear regrets. Do I own anything that I regret purchasing now? And I thought that was an interesting question. I did return the circuit tracks, but I don't regret purchasing it. I just made a video about that, actually. And that kind of made me look at all the gear that I, currently own. And I came to the conclusion, no, I don't regret purchasing any of this gear. But rather than make a video focusing on the, how I don't have any regrets, that feels kind of, somewhat negative to me, I wanted to make a video where I flip that around and take each piece of electronic music gear that I own and say something positive about it. And I have a feeling this is going to be a really healthy exercise and is probably something that I'm going to recommend that all of you do too. Just helps you appreciate what you have. So with that out of the way, let's get started. Also, this is going to be in no particular order. I'm just going to go with what I see, which is why I'm starting here with the Korg Monotron delay. Of course, this is not only a great little analog synthesizer, but it's also one of the grittiest little effects boxes that you can get. It's got a line-in for audio, and you can run it through the analog filter and the digital delay, and this just has a natural hiss to it, and a lo-fi kind of charm, I guess we'll call it, that instantly transforms anything plugged into it into something magical. A lot of folks don't like it, but the Monotron delay has a very special place in my heart. Next up, we've got the Korg Volka drum. This is a great little digital drum machine and is as close to a hardware version of the Microtonic VST that you're going to be able to find, and is also one of my favorite pieces of gear to make samples with. This is the Po128 Megaman, and this is an awesome little pocket operator, perfect for anyone who wants to write chiptune style songs and not be locked into the major/relative minor scales of most pocket operators. It's a little bit glitchy if you want to live play, but if you want something where you can just sequence your drums, a bass line, and a lead line, this is a great pocket operator to have. It sounds incredible as well. Next up, we've got the Behringer Model D. This is a Moog Mini Moog clone for less than $300 US, and it sounds absolutely phenomenal. Seriously, the amount of value in this synthesizer is next level. It's just a beast. This is the Po33 KO by Teenage Engineering. This is the first pocket operator I ever got, and even with the broken screen, this little 4-track sampler has changed my life. Freebeat would not exist if it was not for this piece of gear. This is the Korg Volka keys, my first ever analog synthesizer. This is my go-to synth when I just want that analog sound. Time and time again, I find myself coming back to this awesome little analog synth. Next up, we've got the Po35 Speak from Teenage Engineering. This is a vocal synthesizer and is the only piece of gear that I own capable of doing what it does, turning audio into straight synthesis. It's immediate, it's unique, and it might be the most fun piece of gear that I own. This is the Teenage Engineering Po32 Tonic, and it is my favorite drum machine under $500. The amount of quality sounds I have gotten out of this drum machine is unreal, and thanks to its ability to download new kits via the Microtonic software and from other users on the internet, I will probably never stop using it. Next, we've got the Korg NT1. When I first got my hands on the NT1 early last year, I went in hard on videos covering it, and I truly believe that this box is what helped the channel gain its early momentum and hit that first 1,000 subscribers. In the past year and a half, I have said so many good things about the NT1. You've probably heard them all if you've watched any of my videos on it, but it's a great synthesizer and even better effects box. Endless user expandability via downloadable oscillators and effects. what can't you say about this thing? It's just amazing. Next up, we've got the Arturia Microfreak. Now, while the Microfreak has not appeared on the channel probably as much as it should, that does not mean that I use it any less. I'm just not as confident in my sound design abilities when it comes to presenting on camera. But this Microfreak has taught me so much about LFOs and different envelope shapes that I will be forever indebted to it. Almost all of my synthesizer knowledge has come from the Microfreak. Not to mention, it sounds incredible and is probably the most versatile synthesizer that I own. This is the Teenage Engineering Po20 Arcade. If you are looking to make arcade cabinet style music, this is the pocket operator for you. This is probably the most complete pocket operator out of the box. The fullness and richness that you can get out of this device, which only costs $60 by the way, is completely unmatched in my opinion. Moving on to the Teenage Engineering OP1. This is my, as of the filming of this video, most recent gear acquisition, and it is a doozy. This is the device that inspired me to get into electronic music. The Po33 was the first thing that I picked up, but this was the first device that I ever saw on video. A couple years later, I finally have one, and it is the first device that has allowed me to write and record music the way that is comfortable to me. I made a whole video on that, talking about it, so I won't get into it here, but the OP1 has already climbed its way into my top 5 favorite pieces of gear that I own, and I don't expect that to change, maybe ever. This is the Electron Model Cycles, an FM-based groove box that has the best sequencer I have ever personally used. This was the first device that I got my hands on that really gave me the feeling of freedom to be able to sequence whatever I wanted in my drum parts at whatever time. I know I've said it a million times, but 16 patterns per bank, 6 banks of patterns per project. 96 patterns per project, 96 projects on the device. All of those have full resolution sequencing-wise. It's just a monster. Oh boy. The Teenage Engineering OPZ. I owe so much to the OPZ in terms of writing music and getting my first actual full-blown electronic music tracks out there on the internet for people to listen to. This was the second piece of electronic music gear that I ever got, and at the time I was living with my girlfriend in a tiny little bedroom. Just that, one little bedroom. I had no space, and the OPZ blew my mind because it gave me the ability to write full songs in the palm of my hand without needing a studio or even a desk. Going from possibly the most portable full-blown groove box to the most not portable one, this is the Akai MPC1. I got this earlier this year, and it has completely replaced any need for a computer that I would have ever had in my setup. Seriously, the amount of features that the MPC1 has is just unrivaled, I think, when it comes to price per dollar. Now, the positive thing I'm going to single out in this video is that it is helping me learn how to finger drum and discovering a whole new respect for, honestly, what is a completely different art form than normal drumming, and I just am having the best time exploring finger drumming on the MPC1, and I don't expect that to change anytime soon. And that leaves us with the Teenage Engineering Po24 Office. This is my favorite pocket operator. I think it's certainly the most underrated pocket operator of all the pocket operators. It's just a blast to use. It's unique, it's quirky, it's different, it's everything that I want my music to be, and it's one of the most inspirational machines that I use. It's just 80s office equipment sampled into a little calculator, but to me, it's so much more. Holy cow, we did it. We cleared the desk. Wow. That was a lot of fun, actually, and I am pretty amped up to use some of my gear right now, so I'm probably going to do a little off-camera jamming, if you don't mind. I highly recommend doing this. This is going to get you fired up and psyched on your own gear collection. Even if it's just 1 or 2 or 3 pieces, put that gear in front of you and come up with some positive things to say about it. It's going to get you excited to use it. It's going to get you feeling creative and put you in the right mindset to make music, which is what this is all about. So I do hope you enjoyed this video. If so, be sure to leave a like on it. If not, you can always leave a dislike. That's okay too. Doesn't hurt my feelings, just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Thank you so very much for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.